We're starting. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we'll start our recitation today from Surah verse number 75. Number 75. So please bring your Quran and open Surah Al-Baqarah verse number 75. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أفتطمعون أن يؤمنوا لكم وقد كان فريق منهم يسمعون كلام الله ثم يحرفونه من بعد ما عقلوه وهم يعلمون. وإذا لقوا الذين آمنوا قالوا آمنا وإذا خلا بعضهم إلى بعض قالوا أتحدثونهم بما فتح الله عليكم ليحاجوكم به عند ربكم أفلا تعقلون أولا يعلمون أن الله يعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون ومنهم أميون لا يعلمون الكتاب إلا أماني وإن هم إلا يظنون فويل للذين يكتبون الكتاب بأيديهم ثم يقولون هذا من عند الله ليشتروا به ثمنا قليلا فويل لهم مما كتبت أيديهم وويل لهم مما يكسبون. وقالوا لن تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودة قل أتخذتم عند الله عهدا فلن يخلف الله عهده أم تقولون على الله ما لا تعلمون بلى من كسب سيئة وأحاطت به خطيئته فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون وإذ أخذنا ميثاق بني إسرائيل لا تعبدون إلا الله وبالوالدين إحسانا وذي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وقولوا للناس حسنا وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة ثم توليتم إلا قليلا منكم وأنتم معرضون وإذ أخذنا ميثاقكم لا تسفكون دماءكم ولا تخرجون أنفسكم من دياركم ثم أقررتم وأنتم تشهدون ثم أنتم هؤلاء تقتلون أنفسكم وتخرجون فريقا منكم من ديارهم تظاهرون عليهم بالإثم والعدوان وإن يأتوكم أسارى تفادوهم وهو محرم عليكم إخراجهم أفتؤمنون ببعض الكتاب وتكفرون ببعض فما جزاء من يفعل ذلك منكم إلا خزي في الحياة الدنيا ويوم القيامة يردون إلى أشد العذاب وما الله بغافل عما تعملون أولئك الذين اشتروا الحياة الدنيا بالآخرة فلا يخفف عنهم العذاب ولا هم ينصرون ولقد آتينا موسى الكتاب وقفينا من بعده بالرسل وآتينا عيسى ابن مريم البينات وأيدناه بروح القدس أفكلما جاءكم رسول بما لا تهوى أنفسكم استكبرتم ففريقا كذبتم وفريقا تقتلون وقالوا قلوبنا غلف بل لعنهم الله بكفرهم فقليلا ما يؤمنون ولما جاءهم كتاب من عند الله مصدق لما معهم وكانوا من قبل يستفتحون على الذين كفروا فلما جاءهم ما عرفوا كفروا به فلعنة الله على الكافرين بئس ما اشتروا به أنفسهم أن يكفروا بما أنزل الله بغيا أن ينزل الله من فضله على من يشاء من عباده فباءوا بغضب على غضب وللكافرين عذاب مهين وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا بما أنزل الله قالوا نؤمن بما أنزل علينا ويكفرون بما وراءه وهو الحق مصدقا لما معهم قل فلم تقتلون أنبياء الله من قبل إن كنتم مؤمنين ولقد جاءكم موسى بالبينات ثم اتخذتم العجل من بعده وأنتم ظالمون وإذ أخذنا ميثاقكم ورفعنا فوقكم الطور خذوا ما آتيناكم بقوة واسمعوا قالوا سمعنا وعصينا وأشربوا في قلوبهم العجل بكفرهم قل بئس ما يأمركم به إيمانكم إن كنتم مؤمنين قل إن كانت لكم الدار الآخرة عند الله خالصة من دون الناس فتمنوا الموت إن كنتم صادقين ولن يتمنوه أبدا بما قدمت أيديهم والله عليم بالظالمين ولتجدنهم أحرص الناس على حياة ومن الذين أشركوا يود أحدهم لو يعمر 1000 سنة وما هو بمزحزحه من العذاب أن يعمر والله بصير بما يعملون قل من كان عدوا لجبريل فإنه نزله على قلبك بإذن الله مصدقا لما بين يديه وهدى وبشرى للمؤمنين من كان عدوا لله وملائكته ورسله وجبريل وميكال فإن الله عدو للكافرين ولقد أنزلنا إليك آيات بينات وما يكفر بها إلا الفاسقون أوكلما عاهدوا عهدا نبذه فريق منهم بل أكثرهم لا يؤمنون ولما جاءهم رسول من عند الله مصدق لما معهم نبذ فريق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب كتاب الله وراء ظهورهم كأنهم لا يعلمون واتبعوا ما تتلو الشياطين على ملك سليمان وما كفر سليمان ولكن الشياطين كفروا يعلمون الناس السحر وما أنزل على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر فيتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه وما هم بضارين به من أحد إلا بإذن الله ويتعلمون ما يضرهم ولا ينفعهم ولقد علموا لمن اشتراه ما له في الآخرة من خلاق ولبئس ما شروا به أنفسهم لو كانوا يعلمون ولو أنهم آمنوا واتقوا لمثوبة من عند الله خير لو كانوا يعلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا واسمعوا وللكافرين عذاب أليم ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم والله يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم صدق الله العظيم وبلغ رسوله الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين الحمد لله رب العالمين. These two rubu' we recited tonight are still talking to and about Bani Israel, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded them of His great blessings that He bestowed upon them, and He reminds them also of some grave mistakes they have committed, and indirectly warning us from doing the same mistakes. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse number 79, very important. Allah talked about those who change the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they write things, they add things that is not from the book, and they know that. And that's one of the big differences between Bani Israel and Muslims. Bani Israel were entrusted with the scriptural source, the Torah and the Gospel. And that was a trust given to them. And as Al-Quran repeatedly confirmed the fact that they did not keep up the trust, did not keep the trust, and they changed the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the adding words and deleting other words. فَوَيْلٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ الْكِتَابَ. Woe to those who write the book with their own hands. And then they say, this is from Allah, just to sell it for a low price. So woe to them from what they have written, and woe to them from what they have earned. What could be worse? What could be greater as sin than someone who lies to Allah and writes words of his own and claim that these words are Allah's words in order to sell it for some money, to make more money? And on the old days, that people knew how to make money out of religion, how to change the ahkam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based on the one who's asking. If he's a wealthy person who does not want this punishment to apply to him, then they can change the rule for it. So there are plenty of people who are willing to sell their conscience, they sell their honor, truthfulness for money. I've seen this happening in the past, and I've seen this happening now, even within the Muslim community. Unfortunately, many so-called scholars, people who know so much, and they just say whatever the wealthy and stronger people want to hear. Those who write the book with their own hands and they claim that it's from Allah to make some profits. So woe to them, wailul lahum. It's a great threat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from what they have written. And wailul lahum mimma yaksibun. In other ayat in Surah Al-Imran, as you will see, those who إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَشْتَرُونَ بِعَهْدِ اللَّهِ وَأَيْمَانِهِمْ ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا. They sell the covenant of Allah and their religion for few or a small amount of money. مَا يَأْكُلُونَ فِي بُطُونِهِمْ إِلَّا النَّارِ. Allah said they eat nothing except fire they put in their bellies. They think they can make some money out of this. They are eating fire that goes down to their bellies. وَلَا يُكَلِّمُهُمُ اللَّهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Allah will never talk to them and will never look at them. وَلَا يُزَكِّيهِمْ. Will never purify them. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. And they will suffer the severe punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's very interesting, one of the scholars actually wrote this in Surah Al-Ma'idah. There is يحرفون الكلمة عن مواضعه. And other ayat in Surah Al-Ma'idah, يحرفون الكلمة من بعد مواضعه. So he said the first one referring to changing the meaning. They claim this is the tafsir, this is what Allah meant. So they don't change the words necessarily, but they change the interpretation of the words of God, although they know they are wrong and they are giving the wrong interpretation, again, to please others, to be politically correct and to gain some money and not to be harsh on wealthy, influential people. And يحرفون الكلمة من بعد مواضعه, that they literally delete words and add other words. So all this has been done in the past, and that's why we don't have two copies of the Bible, identical copies of the Bible. There's a huge debate among Christian theologians about which Bible is the authentic Bible, and no scholar in Christian theology will ever claim that the Bible we have now is 100%, that we are 100% sure this is the word of Jesus. Nobody can claim that. It's words inspired by God to the prophets and so on and so forth, but we do not have a Bible that's written by Jesus or his disciples. In the case of Islam, Al-Quran, nobody can play with it. Nobody can add a word or delete a word, because the entire Muslim community memorized the Quran. Nobody owns it. So Allah himself decided to take care of protecting and preserving the Quran in its original language. No one can add anything to it. But this one thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of it, but the tafsir, the ta'wil, or misinterpreting, intentionally misquoting the Quran, has been going on all the time. The most extreme violent group of Muslims, they quote the Quran, and the most liberal and far left Muslims also quote the Quran. Everybody claims they have the right understanding of the Quran. And that's why it's very important for Muslims to listen to scholars who are qualified and not known to be among those who are selling or making fatwas that pleases those in power. Scholarship and righteousness, they go hand in hand. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about this fact that some of them actually were changing the words of Allah to get some money. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them that's what you have done, and indirectly talking to us that we should never ever try to please others by changing the interpretation of the Quran. وَقَالُوا لَن تَمَسَّنَا النَّارُ. Another claim they made, because the children of Israel, they always claimed we are the people of God, we are the children of God, and so on. So they said, yes, we do some mistakes, we do some sins, but the fire will not touch us except for a few days. We might be punished in the hellfire for a few days, and then we'll go back to paradise. أيام معدودة, counted days, few days. And then the Quran says, قل أتخذتم عند الله عهدا أم تقولون على الله ما لا تعلمون. So have you taken or received a promise from Allah with this, or are you just speaking about something that you have no knowledge about? Where do you get this from? Did Allah tell you that? Or you're just speaking out of ignorance or wishful thinking? It doesn't work this way. Another important ayah, verse number 85, a long ayah. Part of this ayah, it says, أفتؤمنون ببعض الكتاب وتكفرون ببعض. Do you believe in part of the book and you disbelieve in the other part? يا أيها الذين آمنوا ادخلوا في السلم كافة. Take Islam wholeheartedly. We cannot believe and apply part of the book and disbelieve in the part. You either believe in the book or you disbelieve in the book. You follow the Quran or you don't follow it. Unfortunately, I've seen this. Many Muslims, they like parts of the Quran and don't like the other parts. And I really still unable to understand how could, like, some Muslims who are going for Hajj and they perhaps fast Ramadan, but they have own casinos and sell alcohol and gambling and all, they don't mind. They don't see contradiction. They don't see a problem with that. So the Quran says, do you believe in part of the book and you disbelieve in the other part? أفتؤمنون ببعض الكتاب وتكفرون ببعض. It doesn't work like this. Either you believe this book is from Allah, you take it all, or you leave it all. But you cannot just pick part and leave part. So this is something I wish Muslims actually really think about. That why is that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam brought al-Islam, and Islam was a huge revolution, ethical, theological revolution. It was very successful, and he established a great nation based on faith in God and brotherhood. But we are very good as Muslims in preaching and talking about how great Islam is. Our race says, no, we don't have this problem. We are good. Equality, Islam is the religion of equality. Mercy and human rights, Islam is the religion of human rights. Islam is the religion of mercy. We talk, and that's true. But the question would be, why then, if Islam has an answer to every human problem, Islam provided an alternative, Islam provided a solution to these ancient problems, why then Muslims are not enjoying this? Why Muslims are not applying this? That's a huge question that you and I need to think about. Right? We know how to defend Islam and say, oh, Islam is the religion of peace, religion of mercy, religion of forgiveness, religion of brotherhood, equality, justice, animal rights, environment, whatever question that people discuss, or whatever question that really is a pressing question, Islam has an answer. That's true. because we believe Islam is a comprehensive religion and religion from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, provided guidance in every aspect of our life. But can't you see this huge gap between what Islam says and what Muslims are doing? Absolutely. Look at human rights in the Muslim world or the Muslim majority countries, compare it with non-Muslim countries. It's shameful. Look at governance, dictatorship, and democracy and shura. Muslims are perhaps the worst. And why is that? Why is that? That we think Islam gave us all answers, but we are not benefiting from this. Why is that? Right. So the Quran says, أَفَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِبَعْضِ الْكِتَابِ وَتَكْفُرُونَ بِبَعْضٍ. This is a big problem, that we believe in part of the book when it comes to fasting, spirituality, i'tikaf, and taraweeh, and umrah, nice, cool, beautiful things, zakatul fitr and zakatul mal as well. These things are okay, it's part of our routine. But when it comes to justice, governance, based on shura, equality, transparency, racism, well, we do not have a very good record in these areas, unfortunately. Unfortunately. And part of the problem is that it's as if we believe in part of the book and we don't believe in the other part. It's a problem with Bani Israel, and I think it is a problem here, in this community, in this ummah. Verse number 89, وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ كِتَابٌ مِّنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ مُصَدِّقٌ لِمَا. When a book from Allah came to them, confirming that which has been revealed before it, confirming what has been mentioned in the Torah and the Injil. وَكَانُوا مِنْ قَبْلُ يَسْتَفْتِحُونَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Quran is talking about the Jews in Medina in particular, because the Jews used to look down at Arabs, polytheists, pagan Arabs, and because the Israelites are the descendants of the prophets, they are the people of the book, they are educated, they have knowledge, they have connection to the heaven, whereas Arabs were polytheists, they are worshipping idols. Ignorance, have no book, no risala, message. And when in the time of conflict between Jewish tribes and Arabs, the Jews used to threaten the Arabs by saying that soon the final prophet will come and we will follow him, and we know for sure that he will be victorious over his enemies. So they used to threaten the Arab tribes by the new prophet who will come, that's written in their books, and they said that we will follow him and we know for sure he will be victorious. فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ مَا عَرَفُوا كَفَرُوا. When what they knew has arrived to them, when Muhammad came to Medina and showed them the evidence of his prophethood and showed them the Quran, but that they know, كَفَرُوا بِهِ, they rejected it, they disbelieved it. فَلَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. May Allah's curse be upon the disbelievers. Then the Quran talks about the fact that Musa alayhi salam brought the guidance for them, and then they worshiped the calf. The story that we talked about before, and saying that only we will enter paradise. And the Quran says, قُلْ إِنْ كَانَتْ لَكُمُ الدَّارُ الْآخِرَةُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ خَالِصَةً مِنْ دُونِ النَّاسِ. If you believe the hereafter, the day of judgment, will be only exclusively for you, you are the only people who will be saved and receive salvation and protected by God and get admitted into paradise. You are the only people. So why don't you wish for death then, if you are saying the truth? But they don't like to die. وَلَنْ يَتَمَنَّوهُ أَبَدًا. Quran says, وَلَنْ يَتَمَنَّوهُ. They will never wish to die. بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ, because they know what they have done. They have done horrible things. So they know death is not a good experience. It's not going to be a good experience. Then a group of the Jews in Medina came to Prophet Muhammad, and they asked him a few questions just to examine his prophethood. And when he answered all the questions, it was time for them to believe in him and to follow him. But they ask, who comes to you among the angels with the revelation? He said, Jibril, or Gabriel. He said, well, that's the reason why we are not going to follow you, because we hate him. We don't like him. He is the angel of destruction and punishment. If it was Mikael, we would have followed you, because we love Mikael. Mikael is nicer to us, as if Mikael and Jibril, they act on their own. So they obviously they tried to find a good reason not to follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they told him that Jibril is our enemy. So the Quran says in verse number 97, قُلْ مَنْ كَانَ عَدُوًّا لِجِبْرِيلٍ. Say, whoever takes Jibril as an enemy, let them know that فَإِنَّهُ نَزَّلَهُ عَلَى قَلْبِكَ. It's Jibril who brought it, Al-Quran, to your heart, بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ, by the permission of Allah, مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ. This Quran is confirming that which has been revealed before it, وَهُدًى, and guidance, وَبُشْرَى لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and glad tidings, good news for the believers. Then the Quran emphasized this, مَنْ كَانَ عَدُوًّا لِلَّهِ, whoever takes Allah as an enemy and took his angels and his messengers, and especially Jibril and Mikael, indeed Allah takes them as enemies. Cannot say, we like Mikael, but we don't like Jibril. We like this and we don't like that. It doesn't work like this. These are the angels of Allah, and they do exactly what Allah ordered them to do. So there's no excuse for you to just claim that you're not going to follow Muhammad simply because Jibril is the one who brings the revelation to him. One of the bad behaviors that Quran talked about, أَوَكُلَّمَا عَاهَدُوا عَهْدًا نَبَذَهُ فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُمْ, is it that they every time they give a promise or agreement, they breach it? بَلْ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. In the last ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that مَا يَوَدُّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, those who disbelieved among the people of the book, they don't wish for you to receive more Quran. They do not like the fact that Quran comes in different times and places. So every time a new surah, a new chapter comes, they feel envious. The Quran says that they don't wish for you to receive new Quran from your Lord. And Allah says, وَاللَّهُ يَخْتَصُّ بِرَحْمَتِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Beautiful ayah. And Allah chooses for His mercy whomever He wants. وَاللَّهُ ذُو الْفَضْلِ الْعَظِيمِ. And Allah is the possessor of the great bounties and blessings. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us all and to choose us among the people who receive His mercy and His fadl al-azim. Sallallahu alaihi wa Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Last time we talked about the definition of tajweed and some of the rules of tajweed, and today I would want to emphasize the same rules. We talked about one kind of mad or prolonging or long vowels that we mentioned, the mad and muttasil, and we said that mad muttasil is when the long vowel and hamza comes right after it in the same word, like the word Israel here in the ayat we recited. وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. It has to be long like this. Anytime you read the word Bani Israel, the word Israel, it has to be long. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how we count the length. If you want to, Bani Israel, right? That's wajib. We said this. The name of this is mad wajib. Muttasil. Muttasil means connected because the hamza and the mad in the same word. The word ulaika. Ulaika. Every time you read the word ulaika in the Quran, it has to be recited like this. Ulaika alladhina. Right? Verse number 86. And then the next mad muttasil in these ayat, جاءكم, number 87. أفكلما جاءكم. Every time you read the word جاء or جاءكم, you have to make it long. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح. Say إذا جاء جاء نصر الله والفتح. So the word جاء has to be that long. And the reason why, because we have the long vowel ja, that's a long vowel, and then followed by hamza in the same word. So this mad is called mad wajib muttasil. ولما جاءهم, number 89. ولما جاءهم كتاب. Right? The word جاء also has mad muttasil. Again, the word جاء ولقد جاءكم. جاءكم, verse number 92. The word وملائكته, the word الملائكة or ملائكته in the Quran also contains mad wajib muttasil. So verse number 98. من كان عدوا لله وملائكته. The word ملائكته has to be prolonged. And today I just want to touch upon another mad that's not frequently as the mad muttasil, but it is there, and Surah Al-Fatiha. So here in verse number 76, you see the word yuhajjukum, the end of the verse. ليحاجوكم. Look carefully at this word. What do you see here? ليحاجوكم. And the other words, verse number 102. وما هم بضارين. Verse number 102. وما هم بضارين. This is in the middle of the ayah. It's a long ayah. بضارين. What's common between these two words? ضارين and يحاجوكم. Verse 76 and 102. 76, the word يحاجوكم, and in 102, بضارين. Here you can see a long vowel followed by shadda, harf or a letter that has a shadda. It's a double. So every time you have a long vowel followed by shadda in the same word, then this mad is called mad lazim. So the previous mad is mad wajib muttasil, and this kind of mad is called mad lazim. It's called mad lazim kalima muthaqqal, but just you need to know now it's mad lazim. And lazim is longer than the previous mad. The other mad could be 4 or 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is 6 times long. Like in the word وَلَضَّالِّينَ. So word الضالين, Surah Al-Fatiha. It's the same thing. We have a long vowel, ضا, and then followed by lam that has shadda on it. The word shadda is like 3 teeth on the top of the letter, which means these are 2 jim or 2 lam or الضالين. These are 2 lam, but they put it in one. So and they put the shadda on it. So that's why we say غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. And you count it a little longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. ولا الضالين. Right? From other surahs, this Surah Al-Haqqa. Read Al-Haqqa. ما الحاقة وما أدراك ما الحاقة. And why this is long? Because mad lazim. Why is mad lazim? Because you have long vowel followed by shadda or harf mushaddad. Right? الضالين. الحاقة. يحاجوكم. بضارين. And the word dabba. وما من دابة في الأرض. The word dabba is little longer, 6 times long. Like we read in الفاتحة ولا الضالين. Right? I hope that one is easy and simple. All right. So every time you see a long vowel followed by a shadda, like the examples I give you, this is called mad lazim. And lazim in Arabic means a must. Lazim. And this is also from the same family of the mad we talked about in the first session when we talked about alif lam mim. So lam and mim are also mad lazim. It's a family. This mad is called mad harfi مثقل or harfi مخفف, but this harf called kalimi مثقل, right? So alif lam mim ha mim. Okay. But the reason for this mad is the shadda, as I said, الضالين يحاجوكم. So this is another kind of mad that I just want to quickly touch upon. Another quick rule of tajweed is it's important for us. I'm going to repeat these things over and over, so it's always good to understand from the first time. But if you don't fully understand it, inshallah, when we mention it more in the future, then you will, inshallah, eventually have a good understanding of it. So in any language, there are soft sounds and hard sounds. Okay, in Arabic, there are some hard sounds, and some sounds are hard in some cases and soft in other cases. But the naturally hard sounds called حروف التفخيم. تفخيم in Arabic, تفخيم. You know, if you hear the word تفخيم, means to magnify, to echo something, to make bigger. So that's تفخيم. When someone praises someone so much or is doing tafkhim of this person, making him big. So tafkhim means you need really to make sure these sounds are hard sounds and never confuse it with the soft sounds, because every hard sound has also a soft version of it. Okay, so in Arabic language, there are a few sounds that are always mufakham or hard, and this we can put them in a word right down here, right? It's called خص ضغط قذ. Is it clear? Not clear? Okay, let me just do the light a little bit here so you can see it. How about this? Okay, is it a little better? Okay. So here we have, of course, this has no meaning. خص ضغط قذ. خص ضغط قذ. Again, there's no meaning for this, but just to remember these sounds, you just put it in this three words. Kha, we know the kha, and sad, and dad, da. As you can see, it's not da, it's da, and ghain, and the ta, which is different from ta. Ta is the soft sound, but ta is a hard sound. Qaf, qa, not ka. Ka is a different sound, the soft sound, but qa is always hard sound. And dha is different from the. So so the soft version of sa is sa, right? Sin, harf is sin, right? So this is the hard sound, and sin is the soft sound. See, let me just remove this. And the da sound, the soft sound of the da is the da. We know the da sound, right? قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, right? And the ta is the hard sound, and the soft sound is ta. And qa, and you have ka. Wa, and then the. So whatever written in red is the soft sound, and the one in black is the hard sound. There's no soft version of kha and ghay. All right. So what happened when we confuse the soft sound and with the hard sound, then this may produce a wrong meaning, because you may have a new word. That's why tajweed is to pronounce each sound and give each sound its right. One of the sounds that change lam and ra. Lam and ra are usually little confusing to some, because in some situations there are hard sounds and in other situations there are soft sounds. But these are the sound in black here: khussa, ضغط, qidh, right? So I want you to look at the ayat we recited today from verse number 75. All right, and try to identify some of these hard sounds. Right? أفتطمعون تا and طا. أفتطمعون. The first words in the ayat we recited today. أفتطمعون. You can see the sound, the subtle difference between ta and ta. Ta and ta. Our shuyukh used to teach us that when you recite, you either your face take the shape of smiling or kissing. Smiling, ta, sa, the soft sound, and ta, qa, va. So our lips take the position of this, right? So if we don't know the difference, we say afatatma'una, afata. No, it's wrong. If afatatma'una, ta and then ta. Afatatma'una. Can you see the difference? Afatatma'una, not afatatma'una. No, that's wrong. So there's a big difference between ta and ta, and when one of them come after the other, then you have to adjust quickly, and that professional reciters, they move quickly from hard to soft, soft to hard, hard to soft, soft to hard. So it's not as simple as some think. وَقَدْ كَانَ, qa and da. Qa is a hard sound right here, and da is a soft sound. وَقَدْ كَانَ, right? Another example would be the next ayah: وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا وَإِذَا خَلَا. Kha is a hard sound. And then the lam, la, khala. So one must move from hard to soft. وَإِذَا خَلَا بَعْضُهُمْ. Kha, la. Not khala. Khala or khala. Right? Kha, la. وَإِذَا خَلَا بَعْضُهُمْ. Right? إِلَى بَعْضٍ قَالُوا. ضِ, not D. D. And by the way, the Arabic language is known as the language of Bad, the word Ba here, because this is the only language that contains this sound, Ba. So when they say the language of Ba, you are talking about the Arabic language. وَإِذَا خَلَا بَعْضُهُمْ إِلَى بَعْضٍ قَالُوا. قَا, obviously it's a hard sound, right? ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا, right? The word ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا, verse number 79. ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا, right? وَيْلٌ لَهُم مِّمَّا كَتَبَتْ كَ. Ka, not qa. كتبت أيديهم وويل لهم مما يكسبون. Ka, sa, they're all soft sound, right? And by the way, all other sounds are soft other than khussa, datin, qif. Only lam and ra can be hard sounds in some cases. Verse number 81. بلى من كسب سيئة وأحاطت أحاطت طا is hard sound and ta is soft sound. أحاطت به خطيئته خا is hard sound, طا is hard sound, وأحاطت به خطيئته فأولئك, right? وعملوا الصالحات وعملوا الصالح. Imagine if you turn the sa into sin. وعملوا الصالحات وعملوا الصالحات, right? Ha is soft. Ha. And the word khalidun, the word kha is a hard sound, and especially when it's followed with a long vowel, then the tafkhim even gets bigger, like waladdallin. So your actual tongue goes up, dallin. And then here we say khalidun and zalimun. Because dha is one of the hard sounds followed by a long vowel, so the tafkhim even gets bigger. This is the highest level of tafkhim. There are 4 or 5 levels of tafkhim. This is the highest one when the tafkhim sounds followed by long vowel. أولئك أصحاب الجنة. أصحاب, not أصحاب. Some actually mistakenly say أولئك أصحاب النار. أصحاب النار, not أصحاب, because ha becomes now hard sound. It has to be us, which is hard. Hab, أصحاب. أولئك أصحاب الجنة. أص hard, حاب, أصحاب, أصحاب, right? So I don't want to just mention so many rules at once. It's just now we talked about mad wajib muttasil, when the long vowel followed by hamza in the same word. We talked about mad lazim, when we have a long vowel followed by shadda in the same word, that 6 counts long. And we talked briefly about the hard sounds and how important it is to get our tongue adjusted to move from hard to soft and soft to hard accordingly. Because sometimes the hard sound affect the soft sound, so we make the soft sound hard because it's difficult to move from hard to soft, right? That's normal in the beginning, and as we train our tongue, then we will be able to, inshallah, give or pronounce each sound from the right place. We'll stop here unless you have any specific question. Jazakumullah khair for tuning in, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among the people of the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring the light and the guidance of the Quran to our hearts. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajma'in, and see you next week inshallah. And Monday inshallah we'll have the Quranic stories inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.